If you are currently taking your bi-weekly paycheck, multiplying it by 26, and trying to calculate how many years of aggressive saving it will take to buy a decent home in today's market, you are setting yourself up for a lifetime of renting. I know how incredibly frustrating it feels to do everything right, going to college, getting a solid W-2 job, skipping the expensive vacations only to watch the goalpost of homeownership sprint further away every single year. But you aren't failing because you lack discipline. You are failing because you are managing your cash flow like an amateur, relying on an outdated formula from a different century. The biggest villain keeping you out of the real estate market isn't Wall Street, and it isn't avocado toast. It's the boomer playbook, the traditional advice of your parents telling you to work hard, save your pennies in a high-yield savings account, and wait. In the next 5 minutes, I am going to prove to you why saving your salary to buy a house is a mathematical suicide mission in modern America. More importantly, I will show you exactly how the wealthy actually acquire real estate so you can stop being a victim of the market and start playing the real game. The masses, the people who will spend 30 years paying off a mortgage they can barely afford, view buying a house as the ultimate reward for their hard work. They are programmed by the traditional American dream to see a house as a safe haven, a mandatory milestone of adulthood, and a place to park their life savings. But look at how investors and the wealthy view this exact same concept. To them, buying a primary residence purely with W-2 active income is actually the most inefficient business transaction you can make. The wealthy do not buy massive liabilities using the sweat of their brow. You are currently trying to use your limited, highly taxed labor to chase an asset that appreciates infinitely, tying up 20% of your net worth in a piece of drywall and concrete, and chaining yourself to a 30-year payment plan using your baseline salary does not make you successful. It makes you an obedient servant to the banking system. We need to change your vocabulary right now. Your first house is not your forever home or a nest egg. It is a capital transfer station. Debt is not a burden. When used correctly, mortgage debt is a tax-free lever to control an appreciating asset. Your salary's only job is to buy the lever, not to pay off the house. Let's look at the actual math, because ignoring these numbers is an insult to your intelligence. Let's say you are making a solid U.S. salary, $75,000 a year. After taxes and basic living expenses, you are incredibly disciplined and manage to save $1,000 every single month. That is $12,000 a year sitting in a savings account. You want to buy a median-priced American home, which currently sits at roughly $420,000. You want to put down a traditional 20% to avoid private mortgage insurance. That is an $84,000 down payment. If we use third-grade math, $84,000 divided by $12,000 means it will take you 7 years to save up for the down payment. But here is the brutal reality. We don't live in a vacuum where the housing market waits for you. By the time you hit your $84,000 goal, the 20% down payment required for that exact same house has jumped to over $118,000. You are pedaling a bicycle while chasing a Ferrari. Saves W-2 income in a bank, loses 3% to inflation yearly, and never catches up to the 5 to 7% real estate appreciation. They eventually settle for a house half the size, twice as far from the city, stops saving for a 20% down payment. They deploy their cash into cash flowing assets or high income skills first. They don't buy the house with their salary. They buy the house using the yields of their investments. Math doesn't care about your feelings. Chasing home prices with a fixed salary is a broken equation. So, what is the actual roadmap? Do you just rent forever and complain about the economy? Absolutely not. Here is the exact actionable blueprint to change your trajectory tomorrow. Step 1, the mindset shift. Stop hoarding cash for a massive down payment. The $1,000 a month you are saving is no longer your house fund, it is your cash flow engine fund. Your goal is to build an alternative income stream, a side business, a freelance operation, or dividend portfolios that generates money independent of your time. Step 2, the legal hack, house hacking. You do not need 20% down. That is a myth sold by conservative financial planners. Use an FHA loan to put down just 3.5%, or a conventional loan at 5%. Yes, you will pay PMI, but you will lock in the purchase price today instead of chasing it for a decade. Buy a duplex or a single-family home with a basement unit. Rent out the other half. You are now using a tenant's income to pay down your 30-year debt. Step 3, the optimization. Once your side hustle or rental income covers the mortgage, your actual W-2 salary is 100% freed up. You are no longer trading hours to pay for bricks. You use your salary to buy more assets. I know exactly what the voice in your head is screaming right now. That sounds great, but I don't have the time to start a side business. And buying with only 3.5% down is too risky. What if the market crashes? Let's shut those excuses down right now. First, you are afraid of risk. You think putting your money in a bank account, watching inflation eat 3% of your purchasing power every year while home prices jump 6% is safe? The absolute highest risk you can take right now is sitting in cash and praying for a housing crash that megacorporations will just buy up before you do. Mathematical failure is guaranteed on your current path. Second, you say you are too busy? No, your priorities are just misaligned. You have time to binge 3 seasons of a Netflix show this weekend. You have time to scroll TikTok for 2 hours every night. But you claim you don't have the bandwidth to learn how to underwrite a real estate deal or build a $500 month side hustle? If you are willing to trade 40 hours a week for the next 30 years to pay a bank, but you are too lazy to spend 6 months learning the mechanics of leverage, then you are actively choosing to be priced out of the market. It is not a lack of resources, it is a lack of resourcefulness. Imagine where you could be in just 36 months. You aren't the exhausted employee looking at Zillow on your lunch break, sighing at the prices, and feeling completely defeated. You are a capital allocator. You understand that buying a house isn't an emotional leap of faith. It is a calculated strategic deployment of leverage where other people's money pays for your equity. Don't just take my word for it. As soon as this video ends, I challenge you. Pull out your phone calculator. Take the exact amount you save every month. Multiply it by 12. Now look up the historical real estate appreciation in your specific zip code. Calculate how old you will physically be by the time your savings account catches up to that moving target. Do the math yourself. Then you get to decide. Are you going to keep playing the victim to an outdated system? Or are you going to step out of the herd and start playing the game by the rules of the wealthy? Get a pen. Face your numbers right now.